In today's video, I will be ranking future NXT call-ups based off their potential on the main roster. So I have 16 superstars in front of me who I believe should get called up to the main roster at some point, and I'm going to be ranking them from S to C of how I believe they will do on the main roster. Now, since NXT has been around, we have seen a lot of call-ups, some good ones, some okay ones, some atrocious ones. And I'm excited to go down this list of superstars and give my opinion on how I believe WWE will treat them if and when they get called up to the main roster. And before we jump into this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notification bells so when videos like this and other daily wrestling content comes out, you can watch those videos as soon as they drop. I'm also on Patreon where I do weekly watch-alongs from matches and events from promotions like New Japan, AEW, WWE, stuff that we can't do here on YouTube. So if you want to check that out and support the channel, the link will be down below. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Thank you all for being here. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And also drop in the comments where you would rank these superstars. I'd love to hear from you guys. But yeah, let's jump into it. I'm not going to waste any time. I'm putting Obafemi in S because WWE has a future star on their hands. They have a current star on their hands. He is still so young and so new to this wrestling stuff, but he has gotten so much better over the years and he has legitimately become one of the biggest forces in wrestling today. He had such a good run in NXT with the North American Championship, the NXT Championship. His run in NXT isn't over yet. I don't know when they're going to call him up. I don't know if it'll happen in 2025, maybe in 2026 for the Rumble, but whenever they do decide to call him up, they should strap a rocket to him and shoot him to the moon. There is no cap on how much potential he has. He's going to be a star, and I can't wait for him to take over the main roster. Ricky Saints is the current NXT champion, but I think once that reign ends, we'll be seeing him land on the main roster shortly after. And I'm going to put him one below Obafemi in A because Ricky Saints, he has the charisma, he's got the mic skills, he's got the in-ring skills. I think he has the look to be a star in WWE. Ricky Saints could have been thrown on the main roster when he signed with WWE, in my opinion. NXT, I think, was a good place for him to kind of build up his name, become familiar with a WWE crowd that may not know who he was in AEW. So I think that was a smart move, but whenever he does drop the NXT championship, I can see him getting called up. I don't have him in S because I don't think he's got he doesn't have the size of an Obafemi, right? But he's got everything else. So I'm going to put him in A. Joining Ricky Saints in A, I have Blake Monroe, who is still new to WWE and NXT, but she is someone who I think could have just been put on the main roster as soon as she got signed. Just like Ricky, she's just getting herself more familiar in front of the WWE audience. People that may not know who Mariah May was, but Blake Monroe already appearing on SmackDown. WWE has big plans for her, whether it's in NXT, WWE. She has everything it takes to be a top star in the women's division. So I do not think it'll be long before she gets called up. Maybe around the Royal Rumble, I feel like that will be a good time for a lot of these people to get called up. But Blake Monroe, putting her in A. We're starting off hot, guys, because Sol Ruca is joining Obafemi in S, because Sol Ruca is one of the most talented female wrestlers in the entire world, not just in WWE, across the board. Sol Ruca is unbelievably talented. She is still so young and still so new to this, just like Obafemi, and that's what's crazy about those two being in the top tier, is that they're still learning and getting better every single day, and they haven't even gotten close to reaching their potential. And that's scary. But Sol Ruca, same thing with Blake Monroe, more so than Blake Monroe. She's been on SmackDown a lot recently, so her and Zarya have been doing their thing with the women's tag team titles, going after them. It will not be long before she gets called up. She's the double champ. She's a speed champion, North American champion in NXT. So she has her hands full there. But at some point, WWE is going to have to make the decision of being like, hey, she's too good for NXT. Time to call her up to the main roster. Speaking of Zarya, we have her next, and I'm going to put her in B because I think that she has this intimidating factor to her. She's got the look. She's got the power to be a big star on the main roster. WWE just hasn't convinced me that they'll call her up and treat her like a star. I think she can thrive in any division, whether it's singles division, tag team division. But right now, I'm putting her at B because it's honestly a toss-up if WWE will push her like that or just keep her middle of the pack. The next superstar I have is the former NXT and TNA champion Trick Williams. I'm going to put him in A because I think he has all the tools to be a main event player in WWE. I mean, he's got the charisma, he's got the mic skills, he's got the look. He's very athletic, but I do think his in-ring skills are a tad bit behind everything else that I mentioned. He is getting better each time he steps in the ring. I think his run as the TNA champion was great. I think that was a big stepping stone for him to get to that next point and get to the main roster. I think he has a really good connection with the crowd. Again, great promo work. So I don't think he'll have an issue with that. He's just so young and still learning. He has so much potential. So I'm putting him in A. Definitely could be S, but I'm going to put him in A to be safe. Ethan Page has quickly become one of my favorite NXT and WWE superstars. And I think WWE struck gold when they signed him. He has been incredible in NXT as the NXT champion, as a North American champion. What this whole Canadian gimmick where he's the greatest Canadian alive, turn the North American belt into the Canadian championship, it is such good shit. And WWE has an absolute star on their hands when they call him up to the main roster. I think he could be the star of a mid-card division. I think he could be an incredible heel world champion. Everything he touches turns to gold. I love Ethan Page. He's involved with AAA, NXT, been doing stuff with Chelsea Green. He's awesome. Once he gets called up, WWE should also strap a rock to him and don't turn around, shoot him to the moon. This one is a technicality. He's technically not a WWE/NXT superstar, but he will be, and he appears there enough. So Joe Hendry, I'm going to put in B. He might be the biggest name on here, but I just don't think WWE is going to properly push him like fans would want them to. Like, I don't think Joe Hendry's winning a world championship in WWE. I think he can win mid-card championships. I think he can win tag team champions. Hell, I think he can win the NXT world championship, but not a WWE or a World Heavyweight Championship. At least not right now. I don't think he'll reach that point. But at the same time, he is so popular with the fans, and, you know, WWE caters to the fans, right? So if that's the case, maybe he does get that push. But I'm going to put him in B because I think he will be like a good main roster superstar. Like, he'll be on TV. He'll be involved in big storylines, mid-card stuff, whatever, but I don't think he'll be a world champion. Tony D'Angelo, as much as I love his character, the Italian mafia gimmick, I mean, it's incredible. It's great stuff, but I just don't know how that's going to work on the main roster. Tony D'Angelo just seems to me someone that will get lost in the shuffle. He was great in NXT with the D'Angelo family and everything, but I just don't know how that translates to the main roster. Javon Evans, the young OG, I'm going to throw him in A to be safe. I want to put him in S, but he's 21 years old. Let me repeat. He's 21 years old. It's crazy, I know. But he has so much potential that I don't think he knows what to do with it. I don't think WWE knows what to do with all his potential. At such a young age, he's already had big stories and matches in NXT. He's already had matches on SmackDown. So WWE is already familiarizing him with the main roster audience. And also, Javon Evans is so likable. He's such a relatable person for the young audience. He's 21 years old, like I mentioned. He was doing the 6'7" meme on NXT last week. So he really caters to that crowd. And I've seen a lot of comparisons on Twitter of them saying like he's going to be this next generation's Jeff Hardy. And honestly, I get the comparison for sure. He's awesome. He's electric. He's unbelievably athletic. He's so talented. There is no limit on what this kid can accomplish. And I can't wait to watch his career unfold as the years go on. The next superstar we have is Jacy Jayne, the current NXT Women's Champion. And I'm going to put her in B because she is having a great run with the NXT Women's Champion. And I'm very happy that she won the belt and is getting this run, this recognition as champion. But before she won the belt, WWE never really pushed her as a main event star. She was always in the tag team division, mid-card division. And I'm curious when she loses this belt, one, if she'll stick around NXT and go after it some more or do something else, or get called up to the main roster and see what happens there. Because I don't know if WWE is going to call up Jacy Jayne and have her immediately go after a world championship. I can see WWE putting her into the tag team division or the mid-card division like I said she was in before she won the NXT championship. So because I don't know how WWE is going to handle her, I'm going to put her in B because I do think she could go after world championships and become a world champion on the main roster. But then I can see WWE just being like, nah, you're going to get tucked into the tag team division, and that's where you're going to stay for a while. And next we have Fallon Henley, Jacy Jayne's tag team partner. I'm putting her in C. Everything that I said about Jacy Jayne, I can say about Fallon Henley, except Fallon Henley never won the NXT Women's Championship. She won the North American Championship. So I do think she can separate herself as a single star on the main roster, but WWE really hasn't given me much to think that she'll be anything more than a tag team or mid-card wrestler on the main roster, unfortunately. Next up, we have the TNA Knockouts champion, Kalani Jordan, who is one of the most athletic superstars on the NXT roster. And I believe when she gets called up to the main roster, will make a name for herself. I'm going to put her in A because she's 27, still young, still a lot to learn, but I don't think it'll take long after she gets called up to the main roster for her to find success because she's found success in NXT. I don't think she'll have an issue doing that on the main roster. She's super likable. I think the fans will love her. They love her in NXT, so she'll have no issue making it on the main roster, I think. We are now down to our last three, and I have Lash Legend here. And I'm torn if I want to put her in B or C because I think she's a beast. I think she could be a monster. She can be such a good superstar on the main roster. But WWE just really like, I feel like they haven't done much with her in NXT. She was in the Evolution Battle Royal and almost won. So that makes me think that like they see something in her. And I want to put her in B. I'm gonna put her in B because I have high hopes for her, and I think she can be an incredible, and she should be pushed more in NXT to begin with. But main roster, if she does get called up anytime soon, I think she really could be a force, and she could be someone that WWE pushes and turns into a big star. Second to last, I have Lola Vice, and I'm gonna put her in B because I do think WWE has big plans for her. Like they push her a lot. She's had a lot of championship matches, but she's also never won a championship. And because she's never won a championship, that makes me think, well, if she does get called up, like, is she going to get the same treatment? Like, she's talented, and I do think she's someone that, as the years have gone on, has gotten so much better, and you can see the improvement. And it would be nice to actually see her get a run with the NXT Championship because she has gotten a lot of opportunities, and I think she is deserving of a run. But because of the uncertainty of whether she'll win a championship in NXT and if she'll ever, get that push on the main roster, I'm going to put her in B. And the last superstar we have is Jordan Grace. She's going in S. Look at her. How is WWE not going to push her down our throats? She has everything it takes to be the best female superstar on the roster. She is one of the better TNA Knockouts women superstars of all time. On the main roster, she will make a name for herself. She will bulldoze through superstars. She's someone that I think they could put a championship on her very quickly after she debuts on the main roster. I'm honestly surprised she hasn't won an NXT championship, but she's already been in Royal Rumble matches. She's already gotten familiar in front of the main roster. It's a matter of time. I'm surprised she hasn't won an NXT championship. I'm surprised she's still in NXT. She didn't even have to go to NXT in the first place, but I don't think she'll be there much longer. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is my final ranking of future NXT call-ups based off potential. Let me know in the comments where you would rank these superstars. If there's anyone I missed, drop them down below where you would rank them. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you all have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace.